Environmental issues all over the globe have been known to be phenomena that pose threats to human life and existence. The immediate priority of any working political system is to ensure the safety and security of lives and properties of citizens, and it is noted that global concern has been focused on the practice of protecting the natural environment on individual, organizational, or governmental levels for the benefit and security of mankind under the subject environmental protection. The Nigerian nation is not left out in this effort and has put in place at all levels of administration emergency management agencies to manage disasters in the country. The terrain of River State of Nigeria seldom brings into focus catastrophic environmental phenomena, excepting the issue of flood, which are known to be characteristically and seasonally perennial in the floodplains of the River Niger, which include the entire deltaic region. It is, however, imperative to note that certain other occurrences which are characteristically of the tidal zonal part of the state are on the contrary of daily effects that are capable of denuding solid land masses into water bodies. Several communities in the area, such as the Kingdom of K, have become victims of this phenomenon year after year for as long as their existence and have significantly suffered the consequential negative social, economic, and environmental implications. The ancient Kingdom of K is made up of estuarine communities and satellite settlements situated along the K River, which is channeled from the Atlantic coast at and continues to meet the New Calabar River at the Namasibi fishing community. This makes the location of the community to be significantly strategic, as its position is relatively the southmost central point of the Degema local government area. The positioning equally makes it to be at a central position between the New Calabar River and the Sombrero River. It is thus in this tidal zone where marshy saltwater mangrove vegetation alternates with firm freshwater highlands upon which communities settles, and also it has consequently been subjected to all the geographical forces of erosion, tidal wind, and other agents of denudation instigated by the combined effect of the two rivers of Sombrero and New Calabar. These geographical characteristics thus call for the strict protection of the landmass upon which the community is situated, as any denudation by river actions create a saltwater incursion into the landmass and make it lose its potentials for the maintenance of freshwater incursion. This is vital to underground water condition as well as ecological balance. The Kingdom of K is noted for its antiquity in the Nigerian's Niger Delta region and even beyond, possessing historical sites for tourism as the historically and scientifically confirmed oldest settlement, and naturally characterized with environmental quality that is supportive to the well-being of its citizens. It is to be noted also that the Kingdom of K cannot be exempted from the list of oil and gas-bearing communities of the Degema local government area of River State. History has it that K has been noted for having the spiritual abilities to arbitrate between warring communities. K is a community that lies open to the K River, where significant tidal activities occur. The point of contact with the said K River covers about a distance relatively and approximately 300 meters in length, but access by boat continues throughout the entire length of the community via a creek on the right end of the community from the K River. It is to be noted that in discussing environmental issues, shoreline erosion can be regarded as a major significant negative impact caused by sea level rise and magnitude of tidal effect. And so, all of the contacts with rivers so described have created very negative impact on the shorelines, which were naturally and relatively cliffy in form. The magnitude of the tidal pressure in the creek have created significant meandering of the creek, particularly at the Damebi Polo and the Old Anglican Church waterfront axis, with an attendant effect of washing off of the shorelines of the community. The more the shorelines are washed off, the wider the size of the creek becomes, and the wider the size, the greater the significance of the effect. On the other hand, the entire length of the part directly in contact with the wider K River, comprising the Housara, Ekpepoko, Adapoko, Abaji Kirianga, and Agri-Sukuju, suffers the effect of the tidal movement, particularly the fast-moving ebbing tide. Surface water movement within the community were naturally being directed to discharge points such as creeks and rivers, but recent climate change effects have resulted in the development of significant negative effects that are beyond the competence of the natural makeup of the environment. This phenomenon did not start just suddenly, but have existed from time immemorial with magnitude that was within the competence of local efforts. The process then involved the use of timbers and broken dugout canoes as piles and embankments respectively. When the menace continued to a greater level that beat the competence of the local effort, the Chief Melford Okilo-led NPN political administration in the state was compassionate enough to have constructed a particular length of concrete embankment at the Osara area. It was later extended by the Chief Sokarikokas-led administration of the Degema local government area. Part of the concrete embankment, particularly the part completed by the local government council, collapsed within few years after its construction, as there was no specification of material and technique in the award of the contract. Since then, greater significant effects have occurred, leading to the washing off of buildings and valuable lands, one of which is one of the archaeological sites chosen and excavated by the archaeological team that visited the community for a research in 1973. Accordingly, the community is under serious threat of imminent complete washdown of the precious historical sites of the community by river actions. Right now, the prevailing menace of sea level rise have called for quick interventions. So many individuals, organizations, and the community at large have been significantly affected and threatened. Significant threatening effects of tidal erosion of shoreline and massive soil erosion of the interior parts of the community by agents of denudation recently observed are recorded in many areas of the community. As earlier stated, in addition to the shoreline effect, surface erosion has been so significant that a book published in 2018 and captioned the principles of environmental valuation, written by Dr. Opara, who is non-rivers, have cited the menace of erosion in Cape Town. Considering the state of things in the community, these were the reactions of residents of the community.
This is a place that the erosion has taken over. Houses has been collapsed. We are afraid. We are afraid of being staying here. Anytime, erosion can flush us out. Just of recent, see how this place are. Okay. More especially, coconut tree that is on a very high place. Now erosion has taken off. Of which we can see it now. Of which we can see it. There are buildings that erosion has taken off. We are handicapped. We cannot do it on our own. We cannot do it on our own. That is why it has come to this one stage. If we can do it on our own, at least we shall render that. But no way. So, we are appealing to the federal government. We are appealing to the state government. We are appealing to local governments to come and rescue us in order to stop more damage so that we will be safe.
I'm inside the house nowadays. I see the water. All the waiting in the column. Everything is falling out. We are living very close to the water, and the water is disturbing us too much. All our properties lost. illusion of just the way the water they treat us, there's no way to stay. But we are spending money too much, so that we need the NDDC to come in and help us to work this place for this water side. We will die. No, there's no way unless them. So make them come and help us.
As you can see, our community, look at the waterfront, has been shut out. The erosion, this creek, at first this creek was it's a small creek, but because of the erosion that has taken over the creek, look at how the creek now is so big. And you can see this place now, there is coconut here. Look at the coconut. Because of the erosion, the coconut has fell down. And this is Baptist Church. And this is Baptist Church. Anywhere from now, just if care is not taken by 4 years from now, it will affect the church. So we are calling on the NDDC and the state government and the federal government to come to our aid and help us out to do this project for us. That's what we are asking the state government and the NDDC and the federal government to come and help us.
The 2 rooms don't enter water. NDDC help us. Government, state government, federal government, make an help us. We are suffering. Please, 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 please. Make an help us. We are suffering. All our property, just one day, just enter water. Finish. So make government help us. We plead to the government.
We need government, federal, river state government, Chevron. We need the people to come and help us. Erosion is already taken away the community. See this house, 2 rooms already cut out. Erosion cut it out. This is a road we are passing. Then there is a house in the right side. There is a house in the right side. And that house erosion already taken away. So now the house is cutting up. So we don't know what to do. We plead, asking government to come and help us. You see, some area we just using stick to pin as a water break.
Our house break out because of the erosion. Almost many houses don't fall under water. And for now we are in danger because I'm not sure we reach for that to see the delivery. So we dey treat and they follow the treat with our government, not an airport. Government airport for the filing, do the filing for us. Our community, but I want take and finish. But I want take the community finish. Our toilet house already, most of it, 3 of it don't fall enter water. Building just like that. Now local mud, now we carry the waste, the buildings. So government go on an airport, act of this problem.
And this erosion is causing a great damage in the community. If you can look, you see the water jetty that water break that the federal government has done for us from the water Ministry of Works by about 8 years ago that this thing was done. Taken to this time, you can see the foundation of the water break is already eroded away. Like this thing can at any time can collapse. And before this water break was done, this creek you are seeing is a very small creek, but now it has been enlarged because of the erosion. And the water break is not helping the community any longer. It's about 100 meters, and it does not cover up. So we are appealing to the federal government, the state, and the local government for a piling business. If you look far away, you can see how people are using wood to make a water break for themselves in order to help their houses. So many houses have been eroded away in these places. So we are appealing. You can see the edge of the end of the water break here, where it ends up, and where you can see how lengthy is it and how the erosion has taken away the places. So we are appealing that they should help us to come and make a solid piling for us, or even if it is short. Look at the houses here close to it. We don't know what will happen in the next 4 or 5 or 6 years. So the government should come and help us. Thank you. God bless you.
The effects that are ongoing, if not handled in time, shall create what is relatively going to be ecological catastrophe. A survey of the community demands an all-round drainage engineering system. Above all, recent activity of seawater level rise, which started in September 2019 and would as usual create its routine final effect for the year in November 2019, actually overflowed the cliffy banks of the Osora area and even more in the creek where the shoreline slopes down in K community, spanning to a relative distance of 13 meters and above. There are several victims of this occurrence having their economic well-being affected. K community have so much to explain about losses, particularly as occasioned by the ongoing sea level rise. Many homes at the shorelines were affected and economic crops and other financial losses incurred. The K community from history has known no other town of origin. Rather, others migrated from K to somewhere else when land was available to be explored and taken. Today, the situation is different. It is to be noted, therefore, that the phenomenon requires well-coordinated national and, if possible, international assistance through the immediate authority. But appeals also that whatever that is worth doing well, and so perfection should be put in place through mediation for attentions from higher levels. While we make this appeal, we also use the opportunity to suggest the piled concrete embankment made with cement with qualities appropriate for the saltwater environment is henceforth relied on in any job plan for shore protection in respect of the K community. We also suggest that any form of emergency measure as a relief to be taken to assist those at home who have suffered from the phenomenon to arrest the situation and place the affected in a hopeful condition. We emphasize once again that urgent steps be taken to address the issue because of the urgency it deserves.